Good afternoon, all of the wonderful Rocketeers out there joining us here at Minor League Esports presented by APM Music. And I just wanted to start off by once again just saying and giving my condolences to, of course, Broba's family. And it's definitely a tragedy. You know, Broba was somebody that I had once cast with on several occasions, and as a matter of fact, one of the first big things that I did was with Broba, and actually Broba is what helped me to get here. So just once again, just to give that just small bit of condolences that I could to Broba. But with that being said, we're going to be moving on today with some MLE action, of course, with our first setup being the Champions League. We have the Dodgers and the Rhinos to look forward to. Once again, I am your happy-go-lucky hooligan host, Captain at Soka, joined in the booth by none other than Jordak. Jordak, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, Captain. Thank you so much for the lovely introduction, and we've got quite a matchup coming up for you. Of course, like you said, our hearts really do go out to Broba's family. It is absolutely tragic, and we're certainly taking a more somber tone than we normally would, but that doesn't stop us from bringing you some excellent Rocket League action, and I hope you will stick with us and enjoy it. We've got the Rhinos, and in the Animal Kingdom, I don't think you can match the defensive abilities of a Rhino. Their hide is so tough, but evasive abilities are a specialty of the Dodgers, and let's see how this matchup is going to shake out. When the Rhinos are charging, the Dodgers can move away.
Yeah, you see, and I liked the analogies that we just made with Rhinos and Dodgers, because I gotta say, when it comes to predictability, it's not like me, because right now, I'm so bald, you can clearly see what I'm thinking. So it's not gonna be that way when it comes to the Dodgers and the Rhinos, you know what I'm talking about? It's gonna be a little bit harder to predict what they're doing. Shout out to the Bald Head Gang. But as we look into this, I gotta say, I'm just looking at the team stacking up here, and one team that I'm gonna be looking out for is definitely the Rhinos. And of course, I'm talking about Smitty Cena. If we're looking at Smitty Cena has two places holding the leaderboards as of right now for, going for the Rhinos, and that being the MVPR with a 3.52 MVPR rating, putting Smitty Cena in the number 7 spot, as well as in the leaderboard for goals. We see Smitty Cena again for the Rhinos with 24 goals on that leaderboard, and I think that player is going to come in really, really clutch for the Rhinos going into this matchup.
So far, we've seen a couple bounces off the ceiling, off the walls. Nothing's come of it much yet. Excellent defense from the Dodgers, picking up some saves.
And now a contest here in the front of the goal there. Thought it would have been a would-be, could-be, should-be goal, but was in fact saved. And already we're just seeing the back and forth, but finally they find the gap in the net, and it's going to be the Game Hopper that's going to score the first goal of the series, putting their team up by 1.
Excellent work, having both attackers on the ball. A little bit risky, but they just find that sweet spot right in the bottom corner. Gotta love to see that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You like to see it all the time, but at the same time, it is an early goal. They got plenty of time to strike back, and it's just going to show us like how they kind of break the ice and shake loose a little bit. It's like both of these teams are measuring each other up. It's only game 1. There's plenty of Rocket League left to go, so we're going to see 1 or 2 of these goals kind of fall through the cracks, maybe find the back of the net. But once we start getting into, later into the series, around like the second or third game, that's when we're going to see those nutter butter type plays and maybe not so many errors as we kind of saw in that defensive rotation in the last play.
Yeah, I do see some risky decisions coming out from the Dodgers, getting caught in awkward positions at their near post corner, but they have managed to come out of it unscathed and hold on to that 1-point lead so far.
And it's looking rather well, especially going off the backboard now. It's going to be Schraxel, who's met by Smitty Werger, Yegerman Jensen out there in the middle as this one goes out into the side, going for the Game Hopper, taking some control there, but is met by the opposition. And now the ball is jettisoned the other way, and Schraxel is in the midfield, winning some 50-50s, putting this into the corner now, looking for a teammate in the midfield, but it was found by the opposition purse as the Game Hopper was able to rotate back and get themselves a quick save as this one now falls into the danger around the Dodgers area. The shot going off and a little wide, just barely nicking the corner there.
The Dodgers have been doing a great job of holding the ball and keeping it close when they get control. but I would like to see their defense a little more organized. As I say, a great save coming out from Schraxel. Looking to continue the attack, too. Here comes the pass. Not going to go through.
And then here comes Mayhem looking for the 1-2 tap, but cannot get it and does not get past the opposition there. This will be answered right back again. It's going to be Mod Angles looking to get some weird angles as that one doesn't lead up to much. It's saved and cleared away by Mayhem. Now back into the corner it goes. Here comes Labby looking for the midfield pass. Managed to have a teammate there looking to answer the call, but the defense picked up the phone first. They're going to shut that down and send it back towards the midfield.
Dodgers scrambling on defense. They got caught in an awkward position again, but still managed to reorganize themselves and come out of it, but not this time, because Smitty Cena's going to put one on the board, and now we're tied at 1-1.
Yes, and Smitty, Werger, Yegerman, Jensen, Cena was right in the right place at the right time to put this one just perfectly. Notice that this is how you know you have a good pass. This is quarterback high IQ pass plays because Smitty didn't have to make any type of movement except for jumping up. Literally didn't have to go left, didn't have to go right, just jumped up, got the tap, put it right in. You know why? Because the passer on that play, who happened to be Labby, just put that right in the perfect position, saw their teammate, and put it right there on the nose, on the button. We're tied back at 1.
Gotta love those accurate passes. Good save, but not enough. Wow. And there comes another one. And the score is still tied at 1-1.
Yeah, the back and forth right now, I'm loving it. Because normally you don't see this type of competition and competitiveness and respect. You don't see this type of respect come in until around game number 2 or 3, where, you know, each team kind of like got used to each other a little bit, and now they're playing cautious. But no, there's a lot of respect happening right now on the field, and these two teams can already tell how evenly matched they are. That's why they're being just a tiddly bit cautious as they're trying to move the ball even closer and closer towards the net. As now Schraxel will put this off the backboard, and Mayhem will wreak exactly that, putting that one in the net, putting their team up 2-1.
I am loving the passing that I'm seeing from the Rhinos. They're putting it up off the backboard. They're giving and going, and they put on multiple consecutive shots. Not because they've managed to hold on to the ball, but because they've continued their attacks. They've put passes to one another, and they've got the goal to show for it.
You know what else that I really like that I see coming from the Rhinos right now? And like you said, you know, they're attacking the net. They constantly go, 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 and there we go. Samo, it's going to be Mayhem getting this shot off of the pass from Lobby, only to continue what I was saying. One thing that I like, not only are they peppering the net, they're putting the balls in play, they're picking up pass plays, but what's most important to me that stands out is that they're taking their time. They're not rushing. They're taking smart shots. They're choosing the high percentage shots rather than trying to rush, and it's paying off. Like right now, their shot percentage is fairly high, you know, all things considered when we're looking at the Rhinos. Don't get me wrong, they definitely have taken the most shots this game so far with 12 shots on net. But I like their shot selection. I like when they're going for that shot, they're going slow. No matter if it gets saved or not, they're still putting high percentage shots on target. Just like that one. It's going to be Mod Angles finding the angle to put this one in the upper left 90, literally just scraping by not one but two defenders, one with the challenge and one in the net.
Talking about taking their time. The Dodgers did not have that liberty, but they do get that goal, and now they've got a chance. 20-something seconds, here we go. And Schraxel clearing it out. They need to make a pass happen. They need to hold on to this ball. Can they flick it over? No. Smitty gonna be their way ahead. And the Dodgers need something big right now. 6 seconds left.
And there goes Labby with a last-second demolition on the opposition, and that will be just about it as the Rhinos charge right in and take game number 1.
The Rhinos did a great job that game, bringing the aggression, bringing the passes and the shots, just taking a lot of offensive control. The Dodgers did a great job to close it down by 1, but just not enough time on the clock to fight back and even the score up.
Yeah, and now it's time for somewhat of my favorite, and maybe not the audience's not so much, but it's time for a little bit of Caps analysis, so let me give it to you real quick. As we're looking on the Rhinos side, clearly they had the shots advantage all over the board, managing to hold down 14 shots. That is impressive. Where we look on the other side, they're holding down 7, which is literally half of that. So they're doubling the amount of shot counts while still only maintaining a 1-goal lead, only having to recover 4 saves. But if you look at the Dodgers side, they have 8 saves, which tells me that they're just being held in their own half, not giving a lot of room to operate on offense, and which is also going to tell me that the Rhinos are dominating at the midfield. They're holding that line. They're not letting the Dodgers cross it. And literally the 1 or 2 times that the Rhinos got caught napping, it was literally more of like a defensive error, I think, on their part. Maybe they got caught out of defensive rotation. Maybe there was a demolition. But I will have to say, I'm not seeing as many demos or bump plays. Not a lot of physical aggression I haven't seen come out yet. And I'm thinking maybe that could come out here in game number 2. And I have to ask, I want to ask you, I want to pick your analytical brain on this, Jordak. What do you think as far as like physical bump plays? How do you think that's going to factor into this game number 2?
Well, I do think that the physical bump plays are only going to work for the Dodgers if they can clear up their positioning a little bit. When you have all 3 on the goal line or diving in for the ball, there just isn't an opportunity to really shake up the opposition at all and get them off their track. So we're going to need to see a little bit more consistent placement and positioning and clear up some of those double commits here. The game hopper has to clear this one out of the back. Unable to maintain control of it, and the Dodgers really, that's what they want to do. They don't want to give the space to the Rhinos, and they want to maintain some control and just have some positioning that they're not going to get beaten out.
Yeah, and that's another thing I wanted to talk to you about, because as well, hold the phone. Okay, never mind. Last second saved, and you saved me from interrupting my monologue here. Thank you, Mod Angles. Wonderful.
Close call there.
Yeah, it was pretty close. But one thing I wanted to ask you is, like, we're not just casters here. We're also fans of Rocket League, the esport. We absolutely love it. So we're not just casters, but fans of shots like that coming from Labby. Off of this touch here, the 50-50 coming off of Mod Angles back into the danger, and we had not 1, not 2, but 3 whiffs. We are headed to Whiff City, but the only person not in attendance was Labby. That one followed up very cleanly, 1-0 now in favor of the Rhinos. But now that I can get back on topic of what I wanted to ask you is that we have people that are fans and people that are not fans of the demo meta. Me personally, I'm a fan of it. I love the physical bump plays, and I like to see the fireworks pop off. But I wanted to ask you, as a fan and as a caster, how do you fall in that alignment? Are you a fan or you're not a fan?
Oh, I am definitely a fan. I'm a practitioner too. Excuse me, Labby, though, doesn't need to make demos to score goals when he gets passes like that from Mayhem. Mayhem getting a little bit of a bump on it, and the Dodgers just caught at the front post, trying to backflip and make a save, but it's not going to be enough.
Agreed, and that's one thing that you really can't really attribute to demolitions or, the demo meta as some take it, because the number 1 rule, well, maybe not the number 1 rule, because we all know what rule 1 is, but let me put it this way. One of the most important things in Rocket League, and you've heard me say it a million times, well, here's a million and one more. It's the pass plays that win the games, and the Rhinos are on top of it 100%. One thing that we didn't even note in the last game is that every single goal that came from the Rhinos, all 3, came off of a pass play.
Here comes another pass into the middle. Both Dodgers are up to make the block, and it's not going to be enough, because once that ball comes back down, the Rhinos bang it back in.
Yep, and right here, they just took completely advantage and punished that double commit. Sorry, flips bad, feels bad, man. Unfortunate, but the Rhinos are going to capitalize on mistakes like that 10 times out of 10. And now it's 3-0 in favor of the Rhinos. Mod Angles now with a touch there as it falls to Labby in the midfield. Going off into the corner, a miss from Schraxel, nearly costing them a goal there. Could have been devastating, but it's going to be the game hopper that's going to meet Smitty Cena for the 50-50 towards the midfield. Schraxel still applying the pressure. Labby being able to get that defensive save cleared away, and now counter-attack going off the backboard. Would have, could have, should have been amazing, but a pass play is just as good. They're up 4 now.
Great take off the ceiling, and you see there were just no Dodgers in position to really challenge that ball on the backboard, so Mayhem has an easier job cleaning it up, and that 4-point lead is very comfortable for the Rhinos right now.
Oh, like, I couldn't even really think how I would defend that if I was on the Dodgers defense just then, because you're seeing the first player go up and you're like, whoa, they're about to go for a highlight reel double tap. And then, they try and defend and play that, but come to find out they didn't actually commit to it and they just left it open for a teammate to come and dunk that one in. So that was a really scary thing to look at if you're on the defensive side.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that is the situation where either you want to meet them in the air or you want to be on the backboard ready to catch that ball before it bounces. It's a coulda, woulda, shoulda situation, and even for the best players, a goal like that is just undefendable when the Rhinos are able to turn it on at the right moment.
And now the Rhinos still looking to pad the stats here as another shot on target will be saved by Schraxel as this goes out into the side. And now Schraxel, trying to break some axles, is going to get dunked on for a second, but it's the game hopper that hops right on back into the net to get that save to clear it away. But the offense is not deterred. They are going to try and keep the pressure alive as this will go back towards the midfield. And now look at Labby going up a little bit early, trying to get some Nutter Butter type plays going, but the defense still holding strong for this little amount of time as the attack is non-stopping now.
Mayhem was disrupting the Dodgers defense a little bit just a few seconds ago. They get demoed themselves and they come back into the play, and somehow the Rhinos through that entire thing with the 2v3 maintain control in the Dodgers half, and the Dodgers are just given very little room to breathe at all.
And that's exactly what they did in the first game. We're talking about that stranglehold that they had on the Dodgers, not really allowing them to develop anything past the midfield. They did it the first game. They're doing it again this game, and it's just paying off for them as they consistently are able to position themselves in a way that can benefit themselves as well as their teammates. And now with only 30 seconds on the clock, they're up 4 goals. All you can really do is put your feet up and coast.
Smitty Cena making a big clear right there. Time is ticking out, though. This game looks like it's just about over for the Dodgers.
Unfortunately feels bad, but again, they were able to implement the same type of gameplay strategy that they used in the first game, and they just carried it over into game number 2, and it had devastating effects. Now, on the side of the Dodgers, what you should do now is that they're using this same gameplay strategy. It's not like they changed it up. They're strangle-holding you at the midfield. So you got to ask yourself, what do you do to adapt to this play style? What do you do? Because they're going to keep using it. I guarantee they're going to use it in game number 3. They took it in game number 1. They only won by 1 goal in the first game. In the second game, they used the same strategy. Now they're up 4 goals. So you really have to, this is the point where you got to make a change, and you got to make a smart change. What are you going to do so that way you can kind of like turn the tides of this series?
Yeah, the Dodgers definitely have their work cut out for them. I don't know if they can find the answer. I do think if they can get their defense a little bit more organized, have one on the ball challenging and another ready to pick it up where it lands, that will improve their chances. But these are the smallest adjustments in the game can make or break that kind of position. So it's a lot easier to say it than to do it, especially going against opposition like this.
Yeah, and the stats really tell the tale. Like when we're looking at it here, you're looking on the other side for the Dodgers. They've literally just been in their net the entire time with 9 saves, where if you look on the other side, they have all the shots and only two shots for the Dodgers. That's it. They really had little to no possession of the ball other than playing defense, and they really need to get out of their own half. Like, they're spending too much time in the net, and honestly, that's exactly where the Rhinos want them to be. They need to break out. They need to start applying some offense, put some shots on the net, and take the shot count away from them, because that's where they're beating you. Start putting shots on target, make smart choices. Don't get me wrong, like, you don't want to fire all willy-nilly, try and get some pass plays going, but you got to start applying the pressure to them, make them sweat, put them in the net.
Dodgers have some near opportunities here, though, and that one's gonna find its way in. Schraxel puts one in, and the Dodgers take an early lead in game 3.
You see, Schraxel had the stream up. That's what happened. Schraxel had the stream up on the side and was like, oh, what Cap say? Heard that. I got you. Say no more. And then, bam, went up for the 50-50 challenge at the midfield and then put that one right back into the net. Beautifully well done. And for the first time in this series, it's the Dodgers that have the lead.
Another close call there, though. The Rhinos putting on some aggression from the midfield, but now it's all Dodgers ball. Schraxel looking for the pass back to the middle. And Mayhem's going to clear it long. awkward bounce. Game Hopper's got to read this one. It's way over their head. Traxel playing defense off the backboard and clears it away.
Right now, they really want to be careful because we know how dangerous the Rhinos are, especially in the Dodgers half. Like, this is their bread and butter. This is where they like to be. We've seen how often that they maintain possession on the Dodgers side, so they really need to break out because if you leave it on your own side for too long, the Rhinos will gladly take advantage. So you really need to apply that pressure like you were when you got that first goal. Keep that same energy. And now here comes Labby, but there we go. Traxel is going to break that one up at the midfield, and now a scoring opportunity will unfold into the Rhinos half, but the swish and the flick and the pass will lead to a Mod Angles goal here. They are now up 2.
The Dodgers snatching that one from the jaws of defeat from their goal line all the way down to the other end of the field. Just able to batter the Rhinos defense until they find their way into the net.
And that's why it's so important to take shots on target and coming back with the clutch save. Well done, Mod Angles. But that's why it's so important to put shots on target. Like, whether they get saved or cleared away, or whether even if you miss, you have to put shots within that danger zone so you can make the defense put themselves out of position, force the defense to make a move, make them sweat, make them nervous, and eventually they will make a mistake, and you can capitalize on it. And now it's starting to seem like the Dodgers are starting to pick up on that. Now coming off the backboard, it's Labby with an epic save to clear that one away. Mod Angles looking for the pass here as the Game Hopper will 50-50 down to Labby. Labby now taking the offensive, looking for a midfield pass, but it's Mod Angles to break that one up.
The Dodgers' positioning has been a lot cleaner here. You saw Mo Dangles coming all the way back to the back post, able to clear the ball away, and now they are retaining possession in the Rhinos half. Game Hopper shadowing it. Uh-oh, this one's dangerous. Mo Dangles desperate, but not going to be enough. Labby's able to find their way down low.
And this was, I don't even know if you want to chalk this up as a mind game, but I kind of do. I kind of want to put that as the Jedi mind trick here for Labby. Good mind game there, because you really see when they're coming in and they have the open net opportunity, they're going to shoot hard, they're going to shoot up. But Labby really just maintained control and kept it low, and it got right under the defender. So I'm going to chalk that one up to calculated. Good shot for Labby. Now Smitty Cena out into the corner, looking to tie this one up and get a midfield pass going, as Labby will try and get the second shot on the board. Will be no good, and Mod Angles there with a tactical whiff, shaking off Mayhem. But now a shot will slow roll their way out the corner. Labby once again doing some damage both on the offensive side and defensive side of the pitch.
Dodgers doing a good job to maintain something. And there we go. The ball was on target, but a great save coming up to the crossbar.
Smitty Cena now taking control in the midfield as they have literally every single member of the Rhinos like holding a line at the midfield. That's where their defense is standing tall right now, and even as they retreat back, Smitty Cena already there and waiting to put a counterattack on. Still down 1 goal, so the pressure is really on them to make a play.
Here comes the shot. Great clear from Mo Dangles.
Mod Angles now looking to do some solo work here with little to no boost to work with now. It's going to be Smitty Cena to hit this one back out, but it finds its way down to Shrek. So now Mod Angles with the 1-2 punch demolition derby. They're going to be up 3-1 now off of that spectacular demo play.
And that's exactly the way you want to do it. You want to put the ball in towards the middle, come in towards the goal, clear the line out. And if you could get 2 instead of 1, it just makes it all the much easier for your teammates to finish up the goal.
Yes, and I would like to apologize. I've been saying Mod Angles this entire time. I've been alerted that it's in fact Mod Angles. Apologies, my bad, misread. But as we continue to go on, maybe that was your good luck charm, me mispronouncing your name, because you've managed to turn this one around, and now it's 3-1, so who knows, maybe it might work for you. But a beautiful demo there from Smitty Cena on Mo Dangles will lead to another goal in favor of the Dodgers, as now with just 30 seconds left to go, they are up 4-1.
Yeah, this one, unfortunately, the Rhinos just a little too far ahead of the ball to really get in the sweet spot where they can make a defensive stand.
Well, I mean, to me at this point, it's not impossible, but it's improbable to see a comeback mounting here. You know, they're up 3 goals. The clock is consistently ticking away, and the Dodgers have been playing lights out here in this game. So I really don't see them faltering now as they manage to take the lead here and do it so dominantly. I hope they manage to maintain this amount of pressure and amount of control moving further on into the series, as they made a huge statement here that they're not going to go down without a fight.
I will have to agree with you there, and I do think we've seen a much cleaner play coming from the Dodgers. They've just been much more organized in their passes and their defense. A couple of those tendencies from before have come out, some of the near post rotations and the ball side rotations. I saw some hints of them, but such a cleaner game for the Dodgers, and the scoreboard absolutely reflects it. If the Dodgers can play like this for 2 more games, they can sneak away with the reverse sweep.
What's really crazy is that even though the Dodgers came out winning 3 on top, they still have the number of saves. Like, they are leading the scoreboard in saves here. They got 7 saves as where to the Rhinos have 3. And then if you look at the shot count, once again, it's the Rhinos that win the shot count, only by 1 shot. But they're still maintaining the shot leaderboard here, even on the stat-wise. So it's really interesting to see that the Dodgers, even though not taking the amount of shots, even though they're still staying in their own half, they somehow managed to pull out a 3-1 victory over the Rhinos. So I'm starting to think maybe we're seeing the Rhinos start to run out of stamina, run out of steam, and they're starting to kind of like make some small mistakes that the Dodgers are picking up on. And like you said, if the Dodgers keep this up, they can end up stealing this game away from the Rhinos, much like you stole the hair from my head and then put it on your lip.
That certainly could be the case, but you know, the Rhinos, this could be a wake-up call for them. They just dropped the game in the series after some dominant performance from the first 2. This could be where they say, like, all right guys, we let that one get away from us, no more. Here is where we take them down. And you know, I could just as easily see this going a 4-1 series. Both teams have shown that they are capable of getting the win. It's going to come down to who wants it more and who is more consistent and ready to execute on the field.
Well, let's see who that may be. Mo Dangles now waiting in the midfield to try and play some defense, but Labby, not so shabby, is going to try and get some 1v1 maneuvers here, but will lose possession as Shraxel now will pay for their life by putting this one on target, and the sacrifice will not be in vain. It's Shraxel with the first goal of the game.
What a touch from Shraxel, just able to get it past the one defender. Labby really out of that play. Valiant effort, but not much they could do there.
Really, it was just a fantastic play and awareness coming from Shraxel to take advantage of that positioning, and then managing to get there right in the split second before the defender to get that one by and put it on target. Even though they were completely demolished, still went in, almost reminiscent of an and one that you would see in basketball. And now Smitty Cena is going to try and put this one up and over Mo Dangles, but Mo Dangles not having it, as a pass play coming out from the corner to find Shraxel will instead find Mayhem.
Oh, there's a little bit of trouble there as 2 Dodgers in the same corner. The Rhinos continuing the attack. It's on target, and Labby finds the net.
This was actually a nice little cheeky shot here. We're looking at Mayhem getting the 50-50 off of Game Hopper, and here comes Labby just cutting off Shraxel, getting a nice floater. It's really hard to defend that one because it's not like a straight-in shot. It just goes for the classic up and over, and it just finds the back of the net. And now we are all tied at 1, just now reaching a minute gone. Now Mo Dangles with the 50-50 will go towards Mayhem in the midfield as this goes out into the side for Game Hopper, putting this one on target, but it will be Smitty Long John Silver to clear this one out into the side as this will fall back into the danger with the shot on for Mo Dangles. They will take the lead back. It's now 2-1.
Mo Dangles was reading that pass all day. They were up, they were ready, and they had the aerial car control to overcorrect their height and just get down where they needed to be.
And now, as they maintain this lead, it's going to be on the Rhinos to try and build some momentum back, as Smitty Cena will put this towards the side, but you're not going to get momentum in your favor that way. Not with Mo Dangles there reading you like a pop-out book. What a play. Smitty Cena looking for mayhem on the pass, but Mo Dangles saw that one coming a mile away, cut them off in the midfield, and threw it right back into the net. Now, the Dodgers have the insurance goal on top of the lead they already had.
It definitely pays to be aggressive on kickoffs, because if you can just catch the defense off kilter, you could punish them quickly. Now the Dodgers looking to continue this attack, maintain this lead, and Labby looking to clear it away. Not gonna happen. Back in the middle for Shraxel, and it's good.
I gotta say, I love what I'm seeing from the Dodgers right now. They are killing these corner pass plays. The game hopper coming off the back wall, and for a minute, I'm thinking the game hopper's about to take this one themselves. They were literally just dribbling it the whole way through. Game hopper keeping it on their nose, thinking they're about to dunk this one in, and then out of nowhere, their teammate comes in and just slams it down. They are dominating the corner right now, which is one of the trickiest places to defend for any defender in Rocket League.
What a catch off the sidewall from Smitty Cena. Keeping this one in pressure. And Mo Dangles gets a big clear to relieve some space from the Rhinos' ball.
Now, right now, we're seeing a little bit of back and forth here, a little bit of unawareness, a lot of indecision going on and some hesitation. What do you think is causing that now, especially as we see that the Dodgers are having a 3-goal lead? What is causing this kind of stalemate that we're starting to see? What do you think?
I do think the Dodgers are getting caught with one just a little too far in the backfield, and you get these situations where somebody's there in the middle. They're like, okay, I'm going to go horizontal, dive in for the ball, bang it off the wall, and you've got the guy in the back also going for the same ball. It just kind of creates an awkward spot well off the post. Nearly a goal there going into the Dodgers net. But the Dodgers do need to be a little bit more careful to space themselves out so that it becomes more clear who should be going for the ball and where they should be trying to put it.
Yes, and now that we're well past the 2-minute warning, the counterattack is underway to try and make their way back into this game. The Rhinos are keeping this one into the Dodgers half for now, but it's going to be Mo Dangles that's going to put this one back, looking for the pass play. It will be shot down off of crossbar. The follow-up will in turn hit the crossbar, and the Dodgers just seem to have come down with a little bit of CBS, which is crossbar syndrome. Not once, not twice, but 3 times they hit the crossbar on that last play.
Here's where the Rhinos need to make their rally if they want to hold on to this series win. Mayhem backpedaling. It's a little bit awkward, but they make a good challenge on the ball. Good pass to Smitty Cena. Smitty's got Mayhem waiting in the middle. Can't get it through, but Labby's there. And the Dodgers caught all out of position. Demo comes out, and Dodgers do buy some time from that.
Now, what I'm thinking is that that's really all they need to do is buy time, but Mayhem will waste none as they manage to put this one on target and bring them back within the game. Really, plenty of time to score 2 goals. As you see just then, Shraxel trying to come down on it and get control on that back wall, but the Rhinos just took full advantage, steamed right on ahead, and put that towards the back of the net. Now, the Rhinos have an opportunity to possibly tie this game up and send this into overtime, as Mayhem will head towards the corner and is met by the game hopper as this one will fly off into the side. With seconds ticking away, Labby will try and make a corner pass play unfold, but the pre-jump from Smitty Cena was not there, and they maintain control, able to clear this one out, and the time and the time and the clock just keep on ticking away for the Rhinos.
The Dodgers doing an excellent job playing keep away. They're just lobbing the ball up high in the air in the corners of the field where nobody can really attack much. And that works perfectly to their favor because there's 10 seconds left on the clock and the Rhinos need 2 points to secure an overtime.
Yep, it looks like this game is all but over except for the crying. The Dodgers will take this game in a spectacular fashion, being able to hold on to 4 goals. Now, don't get me wrong, they were kind of kept quiet in the latter half of that game, but they really didn't need to make a lot of noise on the offensive end. They had already scored their 4 goals, and all they had to do was run the clock, which is exactly what they did, and they still managed to come away with the win. Now, for a little bit more Caps analysis, they completely turned this around. The Dodgers, not holding the shot lead, I think since the series started, now came out with a dominating presence on the offense. We're talking a number of 11 shots on the board. The Dodgers completely flipped the script.
Here is where the mental game is really going to be important. It's been important all along, but the Rhinos just had a dominating first 2 games. Now they've seen it come the other way. This game, definitely a little bit disappointing. They got outshot and outplayed a lot. If the Rhinos have what it takes to be a champion, this is where they can come back and make a stand in Game 5 and come away with the series win. But it will take a lot to do, because I don't know if this Dodgers momentum can be stopped right now.
I don't know. You got to keep in mind, we're all set and even, so pretty much we're all back squared at 1. This is the one game to win all, and this is one thing that I really love and that I find interesting with Rocket League. When you see 2 play styles completely flip, and that's what happened last game. The Dodgers were the shot takers and the Rhinos were the savers. The save count was all in the Rhinos' favors, and the shot count was dominated by the Dodgers. So what we saw was like the Rhinos from game 1 and 2 really play like the Dodgers from game 1 and 2, and the Dodgers vice versa. It was a real switch up and change of pace of the 2 play styles, and that's exactly what we were talking about earlier. What would the Dodgers have to do to adapt to the Rhinos offense? And they adapted cleanly, and now that we're all squared away in the series, this will be it here as we determine who will take the win and who will take the series.
This is awkward. Game Hopper stranded all alone. They're able to stall just long enough for their teammates to get back in position. Modangles gets demoed out of the way, and the Rhinos are putting on the pressure right now, baby. Mayhem ends up scoring it off of Modangles' touch. I don't know if there was much Modangles could have done, because he was all alone with, I think, 3 Rhinos on the attack.
Yeah, it definitely feels bad whenever you see an own goal, especially this late in the series. Unfortunately, Mayhem was wreaking a little bit too much mayhem. Put that one literally on the opposition's nose, and, I don't know if they really had much control of where that one would go. But now, as they have the 1-goal lead, they have all the momentum they need here in this game as they push on, and the midfield battle will continue as Labby goes up high to get the touches. This one falls right back down and on target. Guess what? Traxel said, come on back. We got ourselves a tie ball game.
It's certainly heating up, and I think we're going to have something exciting for you, because the Dodgers answer right away. We're within a minute. It's 1-1, and we've still got 4 left to go.
Yes, this is the constant back and forth that we've seen throughout the entire series now unfolding in a single game. Not even a minute gone by, and we've seen 2 back-to-back goals, 1 apiece for each team. It's going to come down to the wire, and I would not be surprised if we seen a Game 5 overtime, as the shot will now continue to go on. We have a double commit, which will and could and should be costly to them, as now the counterattack is underway. Mayhem putting this one off the backboard, leaving it for Labby, but luckily Modangles was able to get back in time to get the save and clear it away.
Traxel just banging that ball away. Now a double commit, but almost finds the net. I would like to see the Dodgers we did see the slow play in game 1, the dribbling, but I would like to see a little bit more of that when they're given that much space. No need to throw the ball over to the Rhinos, but Mayhem getting fancy off that wall attack. Great save coming out from Traxel, and here comes a counter. Traxel again. Great pass from Modangles, not going to make it through. Game Hopper all alone in the back end.
Yes, halftime now creeping up upon us as the attack from the Rhinos will staver just for a little while as Labby again holding in the midfield, kind of like we saw they do in game number 1. They're really playing the midfield well, and Labby and Smitty Cena with the rotation on the wall there, constantly knocking down anything that the Dodgers are trying to throw out of their own half. But a miss from Smitty Cena should open an opportunity for the Dodgers to mount a counterattack. But the stranglehold that is coming out of the Rhinos is finally broken by Game Hopper as Labby will return this one over into the side, and Mayhem just gonna get a cheeky demo on the Game Hopper. Why not?
Close call there for the Dodgers. The Rhinos really had them under pressure. They're still under pressure, but somehow they've gotten a shot on net. Uh-oh. Labby turned away into the corner.
There goes the 50-50 there off of Game Hopper, and now another opportunity looking there for the Rhinos, but we're seeing some tactical and not so tactical whiffs as this will go towards the Rhinos half, and it's going to be going right back down to Labby as they go up high on the wall. Now on the ceiling, met by the Game Hopper as this will go back towards the midfield for Mayhem, who has no boost to operate, and the Game Hopper trying to get the 50-50 here will win. But Labby will go flying right on by as the ball just kind of listfully moves on to the left, and finally Schraxel will get there first, but the defense holds strong on what could have been a scoring opportunity for the Dodgers.
I think both teams are looking to play a little bit more conservatively than we've seen. It's a little bit scary knowing that one miss in the midfield can be a goal for the other team, and so they've opted to play a little bit further back than they normally would.
Oh yes, we're seeing a chock full of respect for both teams here, as no one wants to be the team to make that first mistake. Nobody wants to be the player that threw the game, so they're playing very cautiously. And now it's the Game Hopper looking for a pass down. It's going to be met by Mo Dangles, and they're going to take the lead with 44 seconds left on the clock.
That was such a beautiful pass coming up high. Mo Dangles flying backwards towards the ball. You gotta love it. Nobody there to defend it. And now the Dodgers looking to clinch it out at 2-1 as the time will continue ticking.
Still
shot for the Rhinos up high.
Still plenty of time to score the equalizer, though. With the 30 seconds left, this still could go hopefully into overtime, but as the Dodgers are still laying on the offensive, the Rhinos are going to have to make a move here and now if they want to hold on and continue this game.
The Rhinos defense really showing some impressive stuff, holding off multiple shots, but they don't have much time to counter. Mayhem, critical whiff, and now the Dodgers just looking to keep this one off and down to the ground. In front of the net, but it's gonna go, and the Dodgers will take the game and the series with it. The Dodgers close it out at 3-2 overall, winning this game by just 1 point.
That was absolutely crazy. Going into this game, I did not think there was about to be a reverse sweep on the board, or even a regular sweep for that matter. But as the Rhinos took the first 2 games in such a dominant fashion, the last thing I would expect is the Dodgers to come out with the reverse sweep. But the reverse sweep is what we got. That was absolutely a fantastic showing, and it just goes to show that you should never give up on in the series, especially here at MLE, considering that we play all 5. And I gotta say, with that first series in the books, I cannot wait to see what we have coming up next right here at Minor League Esports, presented by APM Music. So do not go anywhere. Captain's orders.